Transmitting live from the Asylum Studios, deep in the bowels of Southwest Texas. It's the Joe Rouge Show. The show where we talk about anything and everything. Where nothing is sacred, nothing is watered down, and nothing is PC.
All righty. Hey, folks, this is Joe Rouge, and it is great to be with you again on a Wednesday evening, transmitting live from the Asylum Studios from the Pimple on the backside of Texas, the beautiful city of Eagle Pass, and doing the very best we can to bring you the best quality talk radio we can muster without all the bluster. Welcome to the Joe Rouge Show. Folks, it is great to be with you again. I know I say it many, many times throughout the course of the opening of the show, but it really is truly great to be with you guys. I love spending my evenings with you, and we got a good show for you tonight. We got a packed one for you. Waiting in the wings, we have Patrick Sangimino. If I did not say it right, I know I did not. And it's funny, I've been practicing it all day, bro. I know he's watching in the wings. But also we have Wayne Rankin joining us in the second hour, so that's going to be great. Great conversation. Well, a lot of interesting things took place right before the start of the show. I suppose the one thing that we should mention, and I'll pull the graphic up here really quickly, and we're not going to spend any time talking about it tonight because we do want to make sure we get to our guest. But actually, you know what? Before we actually do that, before I put the graphic up there, let's do our sponsor read. Folks, tonight's show is brought to you by podhome.fm. Podhome.fm is the most modern and easy to use podcast hosting platform. You can use it to publish your episodes, enhance your audio, automatically generate transcripts, chapters, titles, show notes, and more. And folks, you can even podcast live, which is exactly what we're doing on the audio stream as well as the video stream. We are broadcasting live across all the modern podcast 2.0 apps, and you can get all of those apps by just checking out like modernpodcastapps.com, podcastindex.org, and you can listen to the live audio as well. So that's always a lot of fun to do. We like broadcasting live. It's challenging. You never know what to expect, and if you caught last night's show, you understand what I'm talking about. But you can get all of this from podhome.fm for 30 days free when you sign up, and then $15.99 a month thereafter. So why don't you head over to podhome.fm, and check them out. $15.99 a month, 30 days free. All right. Well, before we get into our guests, something really interesting took place today, right about 40 minutes before the show started. So President Trump posted this up on his Truth Social account. He's very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for Arab Muslim world, Israel, and all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. And we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who worked with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Well, that's great. It's fantastic that, the first phases of this peace plan are in place. I didn't really get a chance to spend too much time contemplating this, but this was a big announcement today, so I wanted to make sure I brought it to your attention before we got started here tonight. So let me know what you think about that. You can always leave a comment right there down below, or shoot us an email over at info@joerouge.com. All right. Also, before we get into it, don't forget to head over to our website, joerouge.com. joerouge.com. Go to our contact section, open up the web form, send us over a message. Let us know whatever's on your heart, whatever's in your mind, any questions, comments, cares, or concerns that you have. Any compliments, any complaints, any suggestions for a guest, any topic you'd like to talk about, send it on over to us. And if you don't want to use the web form, that's fine. We got that whole little empty section right down there at the bottom of your screen that you can leave a comment in, or you can email me directly at info@joerouge.com. That's info@joerouge.com. Also, while you're on the website, check out our support page. And if you have the means to do so and you're able to, this is a value for value show. And all that basically means is that if you're receiving any value from what we're putting out, we're asking that you return that value in the form of a donation. And as always, I will lay all of that out for you at the end of the show. All right. Now, tonight, we are joined by veteran journalist and author Patrick Sangimino.
Yes.
Got it. All right. A man who has spent more than 40 years inside America's newsrooms, from the NFL sidelines to the business desks of major papers across the Midwest. Patrick's seen the best and worst of journalism, the golden years of local reporting, the chaos of digital transition, and the slow unraveling of an industry that once shaped public opinion like no other. His debut novel, Dogs Chase Cars, tells that story, not through data or industry reports, but through the eyes of a sports columnist facing his own layoff on what might be his last day at the paper. It's a fictional take rooted in truth, full of heart, humor, and hard-earned perspective. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Joe. I don't know how I'm supposed to compete with peace in the Middle East, but I'm going to try.
Well, we'll somehow work it out. We'll give you some credit somewhere along the way.
That's an amazing story. I should be buried in the page 18 of the paper right now.
Yeah.
While you work on this one.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. We'll get there at some point. When we originally started this show, sir, the intent of the show was to do political commentary, opinions, and such. But I think the forces of the universe had an alternate direction for this thing to go. So we don't spend very much time talking politics anymore. But we're gonna kind of work our way back into it at some point. But how are you? How's everything going on your end, sir?
Everything's going good. It's life moves forward. Everything happens for a purpose, and I cannot complain. I have since relocated from the Midwest back to my home state of California. I can't say I'm in love with the state of California and the wackiness, but we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, probably some things are better left unsaid. Right. All right. Well, I don't know if you've checked out any of the other shows that we've done, but I always ask my guests two very important questions to start the show off with. So we'll see if you're ready for it or not. What is something that most people don't know about you but should?
Most people don't know about me but should? Well, I'm an avid sports fan. Grew up in a sports family. Realized when I was very young, I was small, slow, and couldn't hit a curveball, so I was never going to play infield for San Francisco Giants. But found my way into sports writing thanks to a show called The Odd Couple and Oscar Madison. I was a big fan of his, and Jack Klugman and the way he played that character. And that's something many people don't know about me.
That was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah,
it really was. And I used to love to sit there. I mean, I was very young when it first started, but I caught the latter years of it. But I used to love to sit there and watch the reruns on Channel 11 up in New York. It was great. I loved that show. It was great.
I never had a tuna fish sandwich under my pillow or anything like that, and thankfully I never did.
Good.
But I avoided the sloppiness. But his lifestyle was just something that I was just so enamored with at a young age, and I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's great. It's a great analogy too. It's a great lifestyle to do what you love to do. There's nothing better in the world than that. It's because it's not like going to work every day. It's actually doing what you love.
Exactly.
And, that's kind of like how I feel with the podcast stuff. It's like I have a job, I have a regular job. It's my job, but I love to do this. I could tell
it's a labor of love with you. The way you have just embraced it, and even the first 5 minutes here, I feel very welcome. So,
of course, we
carry on. I'm a little nervous about question 2, but go for it.
Question 2 is: what is your go-to beverage to help you unwind at the end of the day?
Back in the early days, I think it would have been something alcoholic, but right now it's more of a cup of tea or I wish I could drink coffee all day like I used to, but can't do it anymore. So I've kind of found the tea thing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm a bourbon guy. I love my bourbons.
Yeah.
I had at one point I had an extensive collection of bourbons, and I thought you were pulling up a bottle of bourbon. I was like, oh wait, let me go get one.
That was just water. Now, have you ever done the bourbon tour down in Kentucky?
No, not yet. I'm planning on it though.
Okay.
I'm totally planning on it. So bourbon usually been my go-to. Right now, I've been sampling brandies. I don't know why. I just decided one day I want to try some brandy, so I bought a couple of bottles, and every evening, well, not every evening, but weekends, I'll after I get out of work and I realize that I didn't hurt anybody while I was there, I'll have a cigar and a brandy or a cigar and a bourbon, and just relax. Kind of take
Italian grandmother. Whenever we got sick, it was bourbon with a cube of sugar in it.
Yeah. Same thing. Same thing. My grandmother wasn't a purebred Italian. She was Italian German, but my grandfather was pure Sicilian. So
that's okay. Good.
Yeah,
I'm Sicilian myself.
Got the best of both worlds, my friend. Got the best of both worlds.
There you go.
And I'm on my mom and dad. Well, my mom obviously is mixed of my grandparents, but my dad's side was pure Italian, off the boat. I think my dad was third generation American. Okay. So just great. I love it. And it's funny because when I lived in New York, I kind of took it for granted, the Italian heritage and all the accessibility to all the stuff, for Italian food and restaurants and stuff. And then I came here, and it's like I went to our local supermarket one day, and I was like, I want to make something. I'm going to make my signature dish is a fettuccine with sweet peas, prosciutto, and a white wine sauce.
That sounds good.
Oh, it's amazing. That's my signature thing, and I hadn't had it in a while, and I felt like making it one night. So I went to the local supermarket, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, okay, where's the prosciutto? I go up to the deli counter, and I asked the girl there. I was like, hey, do you have any prosciutto? She was like, for what? Prosciutto. What's that? It's an Italian cured ham. You don't have prosciutto? She was like, no, I don't think so. So that kind of threw a wrench into my plans. But I went to Walmart, of all places. Walmart. They did not have it behind the deli counter at Walmart, but I don't know if you ever see those mozzarella sticks with the prosciutto around them. Uh-huh. They had like 4 packages of it left, so I grabbed all 4 packages, and I was like, I am making this thing tonight. That's it.
You made it work. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you could also use pancetta.
You can.
It changes the flavor profile slightly because it's a little bit more of a smoky flavor with the pancetta. But it was so good. It came out so good. My mom would be like this right now.
It's a different world. I know when I moved to the Midwest, it was finding a good delicatessen. There were no delis there.
Mm-mm.
And they think going to Subway is getting a sandwich.
Oh, please, God, yes, I know. I did the same thing here. It's ridiculous. Have you tried the meatball parmesan sandwich? No, I'm sorry. Let me correct it. The meatball parmigiana sandwich at Subway. I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm not going to either.
I like when they say, we have good Italian food here. And I said, is that straight from Italy? And
all the rage here right now is that they're opening up an Olive Garden.
Oh no!
And I'm like,
don't get me started. Don't get me started.
That is such an insult to an Italian Olive Garden. It is not.
Throw some cheese on it and overcook the pasta. That'll do it.
Yeah, and what some people don't know also is that Alfredo, because the big thing is they're chicken Alfredo. There is no such thing as Alfredo sauce, by the way. In Italy, there is no. If you go into an Italian restaurant in Italy and say you wanted something Alfredo, they will look at you like you have 6 heads and probably kick you out of the place. There is no such thing.
Yeah,
it's an Americanized dish, and it's like, oh, please, man, don't get me started. I needed to talk to an Italian.
All right, Pasan, you know where to come when you need to vent a little bit.
Yeah, yes,
You
absolutely,
just
sir.
come back when you need some.
Absolutely. So your journey's been shaped by your experiences as a journalist. Um, tell us your life. Tell us about your life as a journalist covering the NFL for what, for 8 seasons? Is
Yeah,
that
well,
right? Eight
I
seasons?
covered it for 8 seasons as a beat reporter, and then I became a columnist. So I got to spend a few more years doing it, and it's a blast. I mean, it's the NFL is the world's largest public relations machine. You, everything is set up just for public relations purposes, and you know what you're doing every day. It's as a beat reporter, it gets to be a little merry-go-roundish where you know exactly what's going on, and after 8 seasons, you're ready for something new. But I also said it's the perfect single man's job, because think about it: you leave on Saturday morning, go on a trip, you arrive at the team hotel,
Mhm.
you wait for the team to arrive, because you don't want to have to write that story about a cargo or a jetliner traveling with an NFL team crashing. So you make sure they get there, find out if there's everything's okay. You send your story, your previous story for tomorrow's game. Then you go out with the boys, and you find a restaurant and a bar, and you eat and drink until it closes. You go to bed. You wake up at 10 in the morning. You get to the stadium, have some breakfast there, and you watch a football game, and you talk to some people, and you write a little bit, and then you do the same thing and come home Monday night or Monday morning. So
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I guess that is a good definition of the single man's life. But see, when you said it though, the first thing that popped in my mind was the cheerleaders. So you know,
yes.
so
Yeah, they tended to like the guys that had a lot of zeros at the end of their paycheck. So, and sports writers technically didn't have that unless you count the decimal points, and nobody counts those.
no, nobody ever does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about your book, "Dogs Chase Cars," tonight, but it sounds like the book is actually, I guess, mirroring some of your experiences.
Yeah, it is, and it's more of it's written through the eyes of a fictional character, but he's got a lot of me in him. He's got he's a little more of lack of a better word, he's a little more of an asshole than I am. So I don't know if I could say that in the air. Am I going to get beeped or anything?
No, say
Okay.
what you want.
Okay. Thanks. So he's a little bit more blunt. He's a grumpy old man who's kind of watching the world that he loved just change dramatically before his eyes.
Mhm.
He's watching his industry just kind of go down the drain. It's circling the drain quickly, and he sees it. He's watching newsrooms get gutted. He's watching technology come in, and for all of the good technology is done, it's done far more worse to society and the journalism industry
I agree
as
with
a
you.
whole, which is another topic in itself. So it's just an interesting dichotomy of life where he's doing something he absolutely loves, but what he loves to do is almost becoming antiquated.
Mm-hmm. Well, how much of the book is inspired by your own experiences, and how
Oh, a
much?
lot of them. You know, a lot of the sports stories that are in there are actual sports stories that took place, and they involve a lot of the names you would recognize, and some of them are the actual story itself is fiction. So I wrapped a fictitious story about a guy about to lose his job in a newspaper that was about to go down the tubes around some real life stories, which made it really kind of fun and challenging to do in a lot of ways.
I know you mentioned technology. Not exactly being the best thing in the world to happen, especially the rise of digital news. How did that actually change the business model?
You know, I honestly believe that in the 80s and 90s, newspapers were making such regular profits, you know, just steady 18 to 20% a year. And if they would have invested in something like Google or something like what was coming down the line, they would have been the leaders of this whole thing, and they would have been on the forefront of it all. And as a result, they just got real complacent and lazy about, hey, we're the newspaper industry. We're always going to be this way. People are going to pick up our product. It's going to be on their doorstep every morning, and here we go. Well, all of a sudden, it comes a classified ad is antique by the time it gets on in the paper, because it could be on the internet for 2 hours, and at any point. There's no need to advertise classified in a newspaper anymore. So all of a sudden, 6 pages of classified advertising, which brought in thousands of dollars a day, is gone away. Same thing happens with car ads and real estate ads, and you're screwed.
And I can understand that completely. Now, was there a specific point when this whole print to clicks transition took place that you thought that, man, this is never going to be the same again?
I remember I was a columnist at the time, and I don't know how big a sports fan you are.
I love my baseball, my hockey.
Okay, there was a football player named Chad Johnson who changed his name to his uniform number, Chad Ochocinco. At one point, and he was the first guy I remember who embraced Twitter, and he went directly to his followers, and he would tweet every day. Mm-hmm. And I remember sitting in the press box one day, and I said, "This guy doesn't need us anymore." And what's going to happen when all of them catch this and they realize that they own their own brands and they're going to be able to do this?
Yeah.
There's going to be less of a need for us, because people are going to go directly to Twitter and get, right from the horse's mouth. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, actually. I never thought about it that way. They get to control their own brand. That's a great way to put it too.
Yeah.
So what's something though that you still miss about being in the newsroom, and something you'll never miss?
I absolutely loved every day in a newsroom. Well, not every day. Some days are worse than others, but there is something about being surrounded by creative, smart, funny, hardworking people who are all working towards the same goal as you. I mean, think about it. You start with an inkling of an idea, a little seed. You plant it in the morning, and you start reporting on your story, and you watch it grow, and everyone around you is doing the same thing with their stuff. By mid-afternoon, you've got 10, 20 stories now, because everybody's working on stories. And then the editors get in and they start figuring out, wow, we got a lot of stuff today. How are we going to place this all? And they make these decisions. And then the layout people get their hands on it and they put it all together. And then the print shop gets their hands on it. So it's touched hundreds of people over the course of a day. And this daily miracle, which started as just a little seed, turns into a newspaper that always arrives the next morning on somebody's doorstep. It's not going to be as good as it could be every day. And the days that it's not, you recognize it. But it's been put into place that this system, this process is time tested. It's always going to work. There's only been one time in my life when the paper didn't come out the next day, and it took a 7.1 earthquake in San Francisco in 1989 for that to happen.
Well, I remember it. Yeah, and you're right. Because I'm thinking, as you said that growing up, I only remember not getting a newspaper delivered to the house, because that was like, my dad loved to sit down, and have his morning coffee and sit there and go through the paper. But I can think of just one period of time where it didn't ever get to the house, and that was when we had this huge blizzard back in the late 70s, back in New York, and that's the only time I can think that the newspaper never showed up at my house.
Yeah, so it's this time-tested process that became such a proven method for delivering news each day. I mean, it was a wonderful business to be a part of in the 1980s, the early 1980s, when I realized that's what I wanted to do.
As a matter of fact, I think my dad still got the local newspaper in Staten Island where we lived. I think he still got it delivered, maybe up to about a year or two before he passed away.
Wow.
He still stayed faithful to it. And I used to ask him all the time, I said, Dad, why don't you just go online? You can get it faster that way. Leave me alone, boy. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. It's that idea of turning the pages and seeing it right there.
Yeah.
And that was the problem with the newspaper industry was everybody knew that the next phase was going to be online, but all the money was wrapped up in your print subscribers. They were so devoted to the product that you couldn't turn it over on them. The mere threat of pulling the paper away from them in print would just cause a revolt.
Yeah, I can see that, and I understand the idea behind that too, is just loving to hold that thing, because I'm like that with books. I love to hold a book in my hand. I don't like reading a book online, a Kindle book or whatever they call it nowadays.
Yeah.
Ebooks, whatever. I don't enjoy that.
Right.
To me, it's just, nah. I would rather sit down, hold a book, have it laid out in front of me, be able to read it, because I also feel like you can navigate your way through it easier. I read my Bible every day. All right.
Okay.
I love to be able to go here, keep my hand here, hold this page, go back here, compare what I'm reading from back and forth. You do that. You can't do that with an ebook.
Right.
It's when you can, but it's so much more complicated. You got to find where you were. You got to go back. I'd rather have the book. And I left my studio door open, and my kids have just come in here. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
I'm gonna be quiet. Okay. I'm gonna leave them in here. My kids are my dogs, by the way. So.
Okay.
So, I got my boy Charlie and my girl Beanie. So, yeah, guys, go lay down, and play. So, sorry about, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No problem. No problem. Where were we?
All right, so we're going to start talking about your book right now.
All right.
And ironically
I thought
enough,
we were already.
the dogs have come in. So, Dogs Chase Cars. Tell us about that title. Where did you get that?
So the title makes people laugh when I tell them. When I was in high school, I had a teacher. Well, I should start off by saying I was talking with a girl one day, my senior year of high school, right around lunchtime, and for some reason she was receptive to my advances this time. And the bell rings, and it's time for me to get to class. And I'm like, no, there's no way I'm going to class right now. I'm talking to this girl, and class is right across the hall. And I could see my teacher at the door, and he's looking at me, and he's not real happy, but he sees me talking to this girl. And so I show up about 10 minutes late, and I walk in, and I said, sorry, I was talking to somebody. And he looked at me and he said, dogs chase cars, but they can't drive them.
Oh.
And
well, that's profound.
It was so profound. And it was this, I was probably too dumb to be embarrassed by it, but I always remembered the line, and I thought, wow, what a great line. And then it became this metaphor in life for me. Like, what happens if what happens when you catch the car? What happens when you're chasing the car? What happens when you're chasing anything and you catch it? Do you have the wherewithal to know what to do with it? And it just became this metaphor on life, chasing stories, chasing people, chasing relationships. And the story is big in newspapers, but it's also a story about relationships and the failed ones. And what do you do when you get the girl? Do you know how to keep the girl? Or do you take it for granted that she's always going to be around? And it just teaches. There is a cautionary tale in this book about really striking a balance between home and work life, because there has to be the people who are in your life have to matter more than the paycheck you're getting every day. So
I agree with that. That's great.
Yeah. So that's kind of a recurring theme. And there's a father-son angle where this guy never really appreciates what his father meant to him till 2 years after he dies, where he just goes, wow, this guy was amazing. And I took it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
So
now the story that you tell in Dogs Chase Cars unfolds over a single day in the life of the fourth columnist. So why did you choose the one-day structure and to tell such a big story?
It just kind of happened. It was this. You're driving to work on this this pinnacle day, this day of your day of reckoning. You've had one job in 32 years, and here you are, and you're flashing back to all of the people and all of the moments, the seminal moments in your life. And I'm very big in, you're familiar with a God wink, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And God winks are just something I believe so strongly in. And the problem with when you're young and naive is you don't recognize these things until 20, 30, 40 years later. And you went, whoa, that's what that was about. Yeah. And so you're just revisiting all of these little God winks of how you got here and what prompted you to get here. But it also brings you to the mistakes you've made in life and why you're here on this day when you're about to lose your job and you're all alone. So there's something very sad about it at the end of the day, not because he's losing his job, but because he's there. He's kind of made his bed. He's reaped what he sowed in a lot of ways.
Now, the book also looks at or addresses arrogance of media executives. Who always looked at like profits are never going to fade.
Yes.
Do you think that same arrogance still exists in the media today?
No, I think they are in total survival mode right now. And I think it's led to the problem we have with our trusting of media right now. I don't think Donald Trump did anything more than expose the media for its bad form in the last 20, 30 years. He became the bullhorn for all of this, and he brought receipts. And if you watch the last 10 years, the media has never looked more silly than he's made them look.
Yeah, that's a great point. He has made them look very silly. And one of the things I like about the president is the fact that he takes it right to them.
Yes.
And he lets them have it. I mean, and I think he's even more so now than he was in his first term. And I think that's primarily because he has nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, he's got no next term to worry about. Mm-hmm. He's just a
he does troll the media frequently by putting his Trump 2028 hats on his desk.
Yeah, it makes me laugh when he does that. I think the media has done such a really poor job of learning how to deal with him.
They're totally just flailing around anytime he does something, says something. First of all, I think again, I don't know where you are on the spectrum politically. Doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. But I think that the left, because the media does lean very left.
Absolutely.
So it's like, the left doesn't know how to take a joke.
Right.
And I think, and of course, I know President Trump knows that. And so he does all of this stuff intentionally just to get them all riled up and and it gives them headlines. It gives them something other than other things going on in the administration that might not be so great at the moment.
He dominates news cycles.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But do you really think there's still a news cycle with the 24-hour news? Everything covered, like, because when you hear news cycle, you're thinking in this period of time there's this going on, that period, it's cyclical thing. But really everything is just happening, and everything is is reported so fast now. Is it really a cycle? I know we're off topic of the book, but this is
no. I like this. I like this conversation. I would imagine that covering the White House would be like drinking out of a fire hose. Just because he's so energetic. But I think they have done a really bad job of I think they were so intent on finding him guilty of something in his first term that they just flailed badly.
Oh yeah, they threw whatever they could just to see what would stick, and nothing stuck.
Yeah.
And now, the quoted phrase, and the chickens are coming home to roost. A lot of things taking place, a lot of investigations. Although I'll be very honest with you, I'm not happy with Pam Bondi. I don't understand what she's thinking. There's just she's got to do something soon. And as far as indictments or at least moving beyond the investigative stage. Now, I worked in law enforcement. I understand investigations take time. You can't just come run out and slap somebody in handcuffs and march them off. I get that. I understand that. But sometimes I wonder, is she too, I think sometimes she's too interested in auditioning for her after the AG job with Fox News and actually working on it. Now, I've seen her testimonies before the Senate. She rips them apart. I get it. It's great. Fantastic. Throw it up in their faces. Let them know, they're not angels in any of this stuff. But I think the American people want to see more movement on these investigations and these cases. I don't think she's handling a lot of this very well. I like her.
No.
I don't know her personally. As an AG in Florida, I think she did a fine job. But I think this might be more than what she's capable of handling.
I don't know that any one person in that job could handle everything there is, because there's so much.
Yeah, I can concede that. But I think you also have to message well, and she's not messaging well. As far as you had that whole big staged event with the binders. Remember the binders, the Epstein stuff, which is all stuff that was already released. It was stuff that was already well known about. Files are on my desk. The list is there. We got this, we got that. Now all of a sudden, the list doesn't exist. There are no files. There's nothing. And it's just doesn't. Sometimes I just kind of wonder, what exactly what's the game here? What's going on?
I think that story is just such a big nothing burger that everybody who touches it realizes it.
You think? You don't think there's anything incriminating in any of those files that they're trying to cover up and hide?
No. I first of all, I think you have to be real careful about what you put out there.
Oh, for sure.
And I think I don't think you can just throw it out there and just say, here it is, deal with it.
Yeah. But the problem is that during the campaigns, that's kind of what they intimated that they were going to do. That we're going to get all this stuff exposed. We're going to take care of all this business here. I know that that wasn't going to happen. Like I said, I've done investigative work in law enforcement. I understand the whole process of things, and you can't give out all the information that you have.
It's a political hot potato. Nobody wants to be holding it, and holding it is the worst thing. Biden held it for how many years? Right.
And that's another point too. Everybody, they point the finger at Donald Trump. Listen, if Donald Trump was implicated in any of this stuff during the Biden administration, it would have been all over the place.
Absolutely.
That's the one part of the whole thing they would not hold back. So for whatever case it is, I don't know why we're on this stuff, but
yeah, we got a little rabbit hole there, but that's okay. It was fun.
Yeah, bunny trails are fun sometimes.
Yeah, I think Trump has done a really good job of more exposing my industry. He's embarrassed my industry. I don't know how they recover from it, honestly. And
I don't think they are going to recover from it. Not to the degree where they were held in such a high standard. Back in the 50s, the 40s, 50s, 60s. I think that era is gone. I think right now alternative media is more trustworthy and reliable in most people's eyes than the mainstream.
I agree with you.
So
I agree with you.
And I think that's and the ironic thing is that the alternative media is going to become the mainstream.
Yeah.
And who knows where it's going to go from there.
Well, because you've watched some really good journalists lose their jobs, and they have gone on to this platform, and they've done really well with it. You look at Megyn Kelly. That podcast is great. I listen to it every day. So,
I enjoy her stuff. I think she's. I like her more now than I did when she was on Fox News.
Right, but you're under the parameters of a corporate structure, and now all of a sudden you're your own boss, and you can say what you want and not worry about it. What are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly. And it's unleashed. It basically is what it really is.
Yes.
And then the same thing with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson says a lot of stuff right now that I don't think he would ever say or be able to say on. I mean, he might, try to get it in here or there, but he wouldn't be allowed to say some of the things that he's been saying.
Absolutely.
On network TV.
Absolutely. So it's just a different, it's a different, Joe Rogan, same thing.
Yeah.
And I love his long form interviews, and if you're going to go on his show and spend 2 hours with him, you better know what you're talking about, because he's going to ask you about it. And there's something great about that.
Yeah, it's fresh. It's refreshing to see that. And I like the fact I love long form interviews. I do.
Yeah.
And that's really the goal that I'm trying to develop with this show, to be more long form and almost more like traditional talk radio type format, I like that. I think that's great. I enjoy I get more out of that than little sound bites.
Well, it's where the conversation leads you. Like, I had no idea we were going to talk about this, but I'm not. This is great. I love the rabbit hole, and this is refreshing to me. And this is the way interviews should go. They just go where they go organically.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and people know this. I have bullets here in front of me, like some fully written out questions, some ideas and direction to go. But most of the time, and my producer Angela, God bless her for dealing with me, I tend to go off the notes quite a bit. But but that's the whole essence of talk. You have to talk. You have to keep talking, even if you don't agree.
Yes.
It's that exchange of ideas, and I'm not going to try to convince somebody of my side, and I'm not going to, and hopefully they're not going to try to convince me of their point, but at least we have the dialogue and we can at least exchange the ideas.
Absolutely. And that's, I mean, the great thing about long form interviews is they force you to listen to, because that next question, it comes off the following answer.
Most of the time, yeah.
Or the previous answer, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. So, speaking of the question, let's get back to that, because this one's actually a written out question that I had.
Back on script.
Back on script, yeah. What do you think readers and journalists most misunderstand about local newsrooms, or how local newsrooms actually function behind the scenes?
I think they're portrayed as these real energetic places on TV and in movies, and they really are. There is a lot, but there's a lot of downtime too, where there's just great debates, and we had amazing debates where you actually covered both sides of the story. Be it an election that was coming up, or politics, or whatever. There were great debates with people who are willing to listen to you, which I always appreciated.
So what else do you have in the works, though? Because Dogs Chase Guys is your first book.
I'm actually, there's a somebody told me I needed to write the next chapter on this character. Like, okay, I don't want to be a spoiler here, but I think it's pretty clear he loses his job. What's he do next? What's his next chapter in life? And that's where I'm kind of playing right now.
You turn him into a Joe Rogan.
Maybe I've actually had a couple of podcast opportunities come up. Nothing like yours, mind you, but we'll see. I've got a cousin who wants wants me to embark on this endeavor with him.
You should. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too at the same time.
Well, I don't know. I got to find my own little pimple of the world, it sounds like.
Well, nah. You're in a good spot. You're in California. I'll work with you. I'll help you come up with something for it. I'm pretty good with that stuff. So
yeah, well, if you're in a pimple, I can't even tell you the body part I'm in right now. But a little different, I'm sure.
A tumor.
But no, it's so that's what I'm working on right now. I've written about I got about 20,000 words done, which is probably about a quarter of the way, I think.
Okay.
And we'll see. It's the first book kind of just happened. It flowed so easily. This one is not nearly as it just seemed right. I knew exactly where I was going with it.
Well, yeah,
it was
because you based it off of true events in your life.
Yeah, there was a roadmap.
Yeah, so anything after that's going to be uncharted territory, unless there's more that you'd want to bring from your personal experience.
Yeah, and it's requiring me to think a lot more. Just put a lot more of a roadmap into this one. The last one just flowed.
Yeah. Well, of course, because it's coming out of your personal experiences, so you were able to put it all down on paper. What about AI in journalism now? What do you think about that? What do you think
scares me?
It does, right?
It scares me. You could the funny thing about AI stories is you could detect them immediately when you're reading them in a newspaper.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, so bad.
There's just something about just the structure of it that just doesn't flow well. Like it feels artificial. Yeah,
and there's a word that's thrown in there, and you're just like, wow, did you really need that adjective there? And you're
right.
It's sad. And unfortunately, in the survival world of newspaper right now, this is going to become a regular thing, and you're seeing it a lot online right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, when I tell people that I'm thinking about writing books, my own book, I have two in mind. One is some of the things that I've explained to you off air, and the other one is from my experiences in working for New York City, and a lot of people ask me, so are you going to write it yourself? Or are you going to have AI write it for you? Well, then why would I write a book if I'm going to let AI write it for me?
I had somebody ask me if AI assisted me in my book at all, and I was like, wow, I think you just insulted me and you don't even know it.
Yeah. It irked me that they actually asked me that question.
Yes.
I mean, I've never written. Well, when I was younger, I used to write short stories and things like that. And when I was in high school and my early days of college, but now I guess nowadays it'd be pretty easy just to say, hey, give me, Grok, tell me a story about such and such and such and such, and just let them do it. But then, what is that? Is that really? It's not you.
Well, and that's the scary part is you wonder if an AI robot or whatever they call them these days can flip a book in 10 minutes and people will read it and buy into it. Is there really a need for somebody to write his story? Is that even necessary?
Interesting.
I was looking at the story on the guy they arrested today for the Palisade fires, and he did a AI painting. He had AI make him a painting of a fire in Los Angeles months before the event, and people running from it. And I don't know if you've seen this thing. And I was just thinking, wow.
haven't seen that, but I saw the story. I saw the headline for it. And I saw some of the
But
posts.
this picture was just so dramatic. And I was looking at it and I'm going, wow, if he would have painted this, I would go, wow, you should have channeled your artistic abilities into something like that. You know, you probably wouldn't have started a fire, but instead he flips a button and there it is. He's got his incentive and his motivation right there.
Yeah. No, I'm in full disclosure. I use the Podhome platform that I use for the audio side. It does generate AI generated show notes and clips and all that stuff.
Nice.
I tend to edit it quite a bit because I don't like the way it phrases things. I don't like the way it sounds, but it does save time. I'm not going to say it doesn't.
Right.
But I do have to go in there and I do have to make adjustments and changes, especially spelling changes and such. Sorry, my earpiece came out.
It's all right.
The like it never spells my name right ever gets the website wrong all the time. Yes, Mama, I know. Hold on, the two of them. I don't know if you can see them.
No, I see them.
There's Charlie. And then, all right, guys, chill out. So when I take my break in between you and Wayne, I'm gonna run them back out. So let's see. So AI, man, I don't like the idea of too much of it. I mean, I get it in some ways. It's helpful. Like I said, speeds things up. You have to go in, you edit it, you make it more your own, and so on and so forth. That's great. That's fine. But when you let it control every aspect of what your project is and what you're working on, like I know people, I'm not going to say it by name or anything, but I know people who do podcasts and the whole podcast is AI.
Wow.
They auto-generate, the AI can mimic their voice. And
is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of people actually, from what I understand, are resorting to AI for their audio podcast. That's why I do video. See, it's really me.
All right.
But
do you need to pinch yourself or anything to make sure that to prove to me you're real?
Once I could, if you want.
Okay.
Well, that reminded me of my uncle Buddy used to do that. He used to grab you by the cheek.
Of course they did. Uncle Buddy always does that.
Always. Everybody knew Uncle Buddy. So from the book, though, what do you hope that the readers take away from the story, especially those that never actually set foot in a newsroom?
I like I said, I think this story could have easily been in any occupation you could think of. I just happened to choose one that was very near and dear to me. But it's more of a story about people and the people in your life who matter, and making sure they know they matter, and making sure you're doing what you can to hold up your end of the bargain, and making sure you're telling them every day you love them and appreciate them. And if there is one regret I have in life, that's probably it, is the relationships I let slip, and it's sad. So I think newsroom wise, I think there's lots of things you're going to laugh about. Relationship wise, I think there are lots of things you're going to laugh about, but there's also some things that are going to bring tears to your eyes too. And I know, having lost your father recently, you can read this story not knowing a thing about newspapers, but you'll read this story of an Italian father, and it'll bring a tear to your eye, because it'll make you think of, it'll make you remember things, and it'll make you understand. You will be able to relate to so much of it in there. And I think most people can.
Well, I have a synopsis of the book. I haven't read the whole thing, the whole book, I mean. So I'm looking forward to actually sitting down with it and reading it. Like
yeah, I hope you will. I think there's something in there. I think there's, the part about there's a recurring theme about a baseball glove and his father buying him this glove and scrimping and saving each penny to buy this glove, but making sure that it had to be something he could endorse. So he had to get a Rico Petrocelli glove because he was Italian, you know. So
Rico Petrocelli, his family, I was very close friends with his family.
Is that right?
Yeah, they lived just a few houses away from me in Brooklyn when I was growing up.
That is so awesome. So Rico Petrocelli was I had a Spalding's Rico Petrocelli glove, first glove I ever owned, and it was the glove my dad said, all right, this is the one you can get, and it's the one we could afford, but it also had a guy that he's an Italian American, and I can endorse this.
There you go. So, I got another piece of sports trivia for you. A cousin of mine is somebody that you would probably, especially working in the NFL with around the NFL for so many years, are probably very familiar with. Vincent Lombardi.
Oh, Vince Lombardi's in my book.
Oh yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah. There's a Vince Lombardi story, and it was just I got down to the whole idea of where we are as a society right now, and how everybody is. The Italians were discriminated against in the early 1900s. And, it's why we got Columbus Day, and then they stole it from us, even though Monday is Columbus Day. Remember that?
That's correct.
But Vince Lombardi was a math teacher in New York, as you know, and he was a great math teacher and a great football coach. And he went down to Wake Forest University to interview for a job down there. And they looked at him and they said, you have too many vowels in your name. We're not going to give you the job. And so he went back and he became an assistant coach in the NFL. And the too many vowels in your name, that was, total dog whistle for being, you're Italian. We're not giving it to an Italian. So
exactly.
Here we are. Now he's got his name on the most famous trophy in football history.
Yeah, I have a great picture because remember they had a show on Broadway about Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
And my grandmother, who is his direct cousin, she went to the show. She was invited to the show by the producers of the show, and she went there. She took pictures with the whole cast and everything like that. And she had a great time, and she sat there with them and she told them stories. The actual factual stories behind the things that they were doing on stage, and it was just a great experience for her. And I'm glad she was able to do that before she passed. So that was huge. And the pictures we have with her, with the cast and everything, it's just priceless. So yeah, a little bit of trivia there for you, my friend.
I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Vince Lombardi's one of those guys. He makes it into my book.
Outstanding. All right. So our Wayne Rankin is waiting in the wings here.
Wayne is going to be pissed at me, so I'm gonna get off the air for you.
No, he's not. Wayne's a cool guy. He loves everybody, and he would probably. And it's all right. He's a big sports guy too, so I'm sure he appreciates this.
Is Wayne a Texas guy by?
No, he's up in the People's Republic of Washington.
Okay.
Pacific Northwest.
Okay. Well, he escaped there.
No, he's pretty baked in there. He's got a beautiful ranch. They call it the compound. Beautiful place. Loves it there, so he's not going anywhere.
All right.
I'm trying to get him to come here, but he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. So, who's somebody that you respect right now, and what are they doing that inspires you?
Somebody I respect right now. Have you read Hillbilly Elegy yet?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think J.D. Vance is such a great, respectable man.
He has a great story. Yeah,
his story inspires me. I respect him.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to him in 2028. I'm sorry,
2028.
2028.
2028. Yes.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a Vance Rubio ticket, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Rubio is the most improved player on.
Yeah, and I love the way he takes on people. He's great.
No,
but JD Vance, someone who I really like.
Me too. I think he's gonna. I think he has a very, very bright future ahead of him. And I think we're gonna get him for the next term, which I'm looking forward to seeing that. So I think that'd be great.
You weren't expecting that answer, were you?
I don't really go into it with the expectations of anything. So many, some people have nobody. Some people say me. It's okay.
After reading Hillbilly Elegy, though, if he believed in a different political philosophy, he'd be on Mount Rushmore already.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
He's impressive.
So where can folks go to get more information about you, your work, and all the great stuff that you're doing?
PatrickSangimino.com is my website. The book is available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. A few other things, but those are the biggies.
All right. Well, I'm going to buy your book, and I'm gonna look for an autograph.
All right. I want to know when you get it. Let me know, and or do me a favor.
Yeah.
Email me your address, and I'll send you one.
Oh, awesome! I'll do that for sure.
That way we don't have to worry about the autograph. But I expect you to read it, and when you read it, I want you to tell me what you think of it. I'm
going to read it, and then I'm going to have you back on the show, and we'll talk about it.
That sounds great.
All right.
That sounds awesome.
Beautiful.
All right.
Love it.
I've enjoyed this show.
Oh, great. Me too. This was a treat, man. Thank you so much for doing it. And you're welcome. Like I said, anytime you want to come, just let me know, and we'll get you booked and get you set up.
Next time you need to vent about some Italian food, you let me know.
Oh, for sure. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna send you some pictures of some of the stuff that I've been working on here.
Hey, you stay out of the Olive Garden, all right?
Oh, God. The only Olive Garden I want to go into is the olive trees I'm going to plant in the backyard over here. That's the only.
There you go.
I want to get.
All
right, my friend.
I'll talk to you soon.
Patrick. Talk to you soon. It was great to meet you, and I wish you the best with the book. And we'll talk soon.
Loved it. Thanks.
All right, thanks, brother. Bye. All right, folks. Patrick Sangimino has been with us here tonight, and what a blessing and what a treat that was. And there's a little beanie right there. You can see her. That was great. I really enjoyed that conversation, and I look forward to getting him back on the show again. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. All right, I am going to take a very, very quick break, and then when we come back, we'll bring in our executive producer Wayne Rankin, and we'll have some chats. All right, so we'll be back right after this. Don't forget, folks, this is a live show, weeknight 7 p.m. Central Time, and don't forget also on weekends. Every other Saturday, we do our crypto show with our resident crypto psychic, and then our Sunday Bible study show. So don't forget to check them all out. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends, your family, and your followers. Help spread the show around. We are gaining traction. It is great to see, and really enjoying the success that we've been having. So thank you so much for that. And we'll be back right after this with Wayne Rankin. Stay with us. righty. First hour is in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. I thoroughly did, and it was great. Learned a lot. I'm really looking forward to reading the book too, so I will let you know when we do that. But second hour is about to start. We have waiting here in the wings our executive producer, Wayne Rankin, future vidcast star, getting himself all set up. I see him in the waiting room. I'm going to bring him on here in just a second. All right, folks. And don't forget, again, this is a live show, weeknight, 7 p.m. Central Time, and available to you across all of the podcast platforms, live audio, and also don't forget the video. We're here live streaming on Rumble. That's our home. We love Rumble. We're a part of the Rumble family. Full disclosure, I'm a stockholder in Rumble, so of course I'm going to promote it as much as I possibly can. But of course, we're also live streaming right now on X. So to the folks that are watching on X, thank you for being here. And for the folks that are watching on Facebook right now on our Joe Ruse Show Facebook page, thank you so much for watching and checking in. We see the likes up here that are popped up, so thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate that. And also, we're up on YouTube. Same thing. So I don't know how much longer we're going to be on YouTube, but we're there. And so thank you guys for checking us out. We really do appreciate that. All right, now coming on in here from the Pacific Northwest, the People's Republic of Washington, is our good friend Wayne Rankin, and executive producer of this show. Wayne, thanks for being here tonight. What's going on, brother?
Going green.
I see the green. That's great.
We're working the old green screen, getting that going. Get a little camera adjustment here, and so I'm trying to look straight into the camera. But a lot of stuff happening today. I guess old President Trump got Hamas and Israel to sign a peace treaty.
There you go.
Wow. I mean, what kind of peace treaty? We'll see.
Exactly. That's what I said earlier when I mentioned before we talked to Patrick. I brought this up. It was important. Came out. It was published 40 minutes before the show, so I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it at least. Don't know all the details of it. We'll see. We'll see how long this one side or the other holds on to this. And if this is peace here, this is a good thing. We don't want to see any more loss of life on either side. And so we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Very, very happy to hear this, though. So it's good news.
Me at the time, my new bride, we were over there just months before October 7th.
Oh, really?
We were there in March of 22.
Oh, okay.
How many March? I guess October, but we were there, in that same time frame. We were actually set up to go back the following March for a month because I have contacts over there, and I would say shoestring relatives from my late family, and we were set up for a month to do a little bit of everything, a little touring that we didn't get to finish because it's funny. Like I tell my wife, "Oh, this is my best friend Joe. This is my best friend Bill. My best friend Lou, in all these different parts of the country or the world. I got to see my best friend Lou in Florida. We're going to see him. That's your best friend. They're all my best friends. But my best friend Bill, who married us on the Sea of Galilee, and we were all set up to go over there for a month and do multiple different things, touring. I don't do air quotes anymore to say air quote. Mission work. You're not supposed to whatever. You're not supposed to be doing it, but doing a lot of good stuff over there. Then this happened, so it's been put on the back shelf, and I'm sure they're gonna get tourism going. And what this comes down to, what they're saying they're gonna do, and these people can recognize. What was it? A statement they always used: "Do you love your children more than you hate your enemy?" That's what it is for the people of the Hamas. They're Arabs, and these people are just ancient relatives. The real background, really is ancient relatives.
I mean, this is a conflict that's been going on for generations and generations and generations. This is not something new. This isn't something spontaneously happened.
Since the woman Sarah and
this is a family squabble that's been going on since
Abraham. Good old Abraham stepped out of the realm of he stepped outside a little bit, and that started it. Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, and then Jacob and Esau. And so that's a biblical terms of that. But it's like they're never ending war. And just like the Ukraine and Russia, I can't get on the political sides of either, but the human loss, it's just devastating.
Yeah,
it just they've lost a generation of people over there, young men and women. So
like over 1 million, I think. Right?
Over 1 million, yeah. And so,
which is insane.
And why do they start these things? There's nothing that's, like I said, we know history, which I do love history. There's nothing's changed from other war. This war was like that war, whatever war that was. And so people are just getting war fatigue. The word of fatigue, MCU fatigue or superhero fatigue. The word fatigue is getting fatigued. I went into another zillionth of my medical appointments today, and the nurse looked at me right in the face. The doctor was retiring. Doctor's retiring. He's telling us all the stuff he's going to do. He walks out. She goes, I work 7 days a week. Where I live, I barely afford. This is a nurse. She goes, I'm going to have to work forever. And we were talking about earlier this week, and it's just a resounding echo of everywhere. It's $50,000 to $75,000 is that's yesterday's $25,000 to $40,000.
Yeah.
And she looked at me with just her face, this kind of exhausting look of, I work 6 to 7 days a week. I can't afford to sell my house and buy another one, blah, 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 blah. She goes, I'm going to be working for forever. And he's going, yeah, I'm going to, of course, he's a doctor. And that's good for him. And he did all the things he needed to do. But that was when I left on Monday when we talked. And just like I said, I'm very blessed to still be like with you in the 25 years we've known each other, but 25 and some of my friends are 50 years I've known them. And a lot of the guys are the same thing. We're retired, we're exhausted. A lot of guys have worked physical jobs like me and my buddy Jim, and work is work, but we're coming to the point is where are those golden years, man, or whatever, all those cliches. Okay, our dads got to retire. At least my dad retired. He retired, got the pension. My mom never worked. With 10 kids, she never worked. How about that? We paid $22 for groceries this week. Yeah, with 4 carts, Joe. I'm not kidding you. The 60s.
I remember.
4 carts. It's like $27 for this.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when my mom and my grandmother actually, when we lived in Brooklyn when I was growing up, they would get those the 4-wheel push cart, what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And when it would fold up.
Yep.
And they would take their shopping carts and they would walk to the supermarket and they would come back with 2 shopping carts full of stuff for like $40.
Yep. So those days are gone. They're gone. So that's what we were talking about the other day about the price of things. Things have changed. Yeah. And then she told me, she looks me straight in the eye, and everything I woke up for this morning with the birds are chirping and the sun was shining and the coffee was brewing, man, sailed the whatever it is, took it right out of my sail. She goes, oh yeah, they're talking about a federal property tax.
Which I still, I know you mentioned to me earlier, and forgive me, brother, I did not
federal property tax
to look this up. So let me do it now while you're talking. I know we were talking Monday also about the cost of things that are just out of control. And one of the things that we have been talking about, let's see. Looking up okay, well, there's nothing, at least that I put when I put the search parameter I put in for it came back with anything on that. The only thing that came back was that the United States federal government does not impose direct ad valorem property tax on real estate or personal property. Government taxing authority is limited by the Constitution, which generally prohibits direct taxes unless they're apportioned among the states based on population. So, all right. Well, I'll have to look into this a little bit more, and we'll talk about that on maybe next Wednesday. We'll get into more detail on that one. But yeah, the cost of living is ridiculous. We talked about this on a Monday. We said that every day they get up at that podium, and I was gonna say pulpit. They get up to the podium, and they tell us how prices are coming down, gas prices are coming down, everything's coming down. Where? Again, I pose the question again. Where? Because I don't see it here. It's things are expensive, man. My energy bills are ridiculously expensive.
Oh yeah.
And I know that the studio stuff takes up a lot of power. I get that, but it's just me and my 2 dogs. I mean, my water bill is ridiculous. My electric bill is ridiculous. My gas bill is ridiculous. It's getting harder and harder to just make ends meet. You run out of money before you run out of month.
Right. And like I said, I am blessed because I have my own water, which is a well. I have my own septic, so there's none of those are all taken care of. My heat sources, I have wood. I'm waiting for the day that they make wood stoves illegal or something like that. I'm
surprised they happen up there already.
Yeah, up here. And so they'll make the wood stove illegal, and then but that's I can heat that sucker up. It's cooking right now, and we could easily get this thing to 75 degrees with a few blocks of wood. And so those are taken care of. Those are the 3. So electrical, it isn't that much, but it's starting to increase up a lot. So
what's your average bill? Just out of curiosity.
$125 summerish time. But see, like I say, I don't have TV. I don't run a lot of stuff. That's summertime. So wintertime, like I said, I don't have, all I have is the electric here. That's it. Whatever runs the little electrical things here, turn the lights on and the laundry. But like I said, my heat source is wood and hot water, stuff like that. So I have very limited usage of the electrical system other than the lights and running the refrigerators, et cetera, like, appliances. That's what it is. I'm getting to appliances. That's about what I got hooked up. So yeah, I'm fortunate on that. But like I said, I live up in the mountains, so there is no water system up here, which is fine. I have a new well, a new everything, new system. Those were put in years ago. So all set for when the kid gets in it. They gets it when I'm out of here. But in general, it's when I'm talking. I like to talk. I like to talk to everybody, everywhere I can, because I always try to lead it to the gospel everywhere. But today, I guess of the professions I'm talking to, now I'm up to nurses who don't make too shabby of dollars, okay, and they're penny pinching. I mean, you think of a nurse, a modern nurse, especially who's got some years behind them, RN, LN, I don't know which is higher ranked, but even an RN in any type of medical situation is making pretty good, and they're going, yeah, it's getting tight. So you're starting to see the people who, like I say, who work service jobs and factory jobs and manual jobs. Those are historically, above the poverty level, but not above what I would call the middle class. They're almost just below the middle class. And the people who are more professional are now like almost the middle class. Where you would be a paralegal or a nurse, you'd have the second nice car or whatever. But now that's coming down. They're getting to be the middle class. So things are changing.
Yeah, they are.
Not like what Bob Dylan said. The times are changing. But so I sent you something pretty interesting today, and I think this answers a lot of things. I like movies. I like movie quotes, and I read about the connections of all these different people in political and financial and banking and everything connected. And one of the first ones, the Michigan governor formerly used to work with George Soros. That was the first one. So you could go through all this, and I go back. I love quoting the man a lot. The Heath Ledger Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker. Man, you go back to it's a lot of movies too, but you go back to some of these things, and he's talking to Batman and going, the schemers, the cops, the politicians, and he's talking about, they have their schemes and they got their little things going, the commissioner and the mayor and the banker. He's right. I mean, he may be a lunatic crime prince, whatever they call him, the clown prince of crime or something like that. But he was right. They're schemers. Use what word you want, but they're schemers. They're players. They're no different than the mafia guys in that movie and the guys, the politicians that were, or the crooked law enforcement. Yeah. Look at our judges. I mean, you just read it constantly, and the politicians, and so reading all these things I sent you today, it's no surprise that it's all part of the plan, as he said.
Yeah, I tried to actually get it onto the screen here, but it won't translate. It's something with the text. It just won't take it. But it's an interesting list. I tend to like to go through those though, and carefully read them just to see what they are, because sometimes they slip one or two in there that aren't exactly true.
Right. And that's why I only read the first one. And the Michigan governor, I'm from Michigan. Yeah, she used to work for Source. That's the only one I can say I can back up, because all my buddies back there. Yeah, she's got a lot of skulls in the closet and everything. So Whitmer. So yeah, she has a lot of connections with different people before she was governor, and that was they voted her in anyhow. So except for Kid Rock didn't. So so he was definitely pushing the. A solid black educated man in Michigan, and he lost Detroit. Man, that's one sell job she had. Whatever she sold them on, I'll give her credit for that one. But talk about Detroit, my Tigers came from behind. They were down 3-0. Final score. I'm listening, and I'm here in Seattle, listening to Seattle's broadcast. Okay, I'm getting a little excited there. And it was 3-0, and all of a sudden I came back. Bottom of the 8th, it's 9-3 Tigers.
I'm surprised you don't have like a Detroit Tigers background on your green screen there, bud.
It's coming. It's coming.
It shall be.
I got my wife. I seen one of these hoodies. It says Detroit Lions. It says married into it. Lions.
What's the line from the Ten Commandments?
Let it be written.
So let it be done.
So let it be written. So let it be done.
So we'll have the Detroit Lions background very, very soon. All right. Outstanding. So what do you got cooking for us though, brother? What's going on with the show? How's development going? You getting there? What are you doing?
I got the green. I got to actually have to tighten it real, like stretch it tight, because you don't want no wrinkles in this thing. And we're going to broaden it up, and we're going to work with the camera work. And then we actually got this thing called Big Films. I think $50, $60. It's got 1,600 backgrounds from Star Wars looking stuff to medieval things, and to I didn't have a Western one, which I was kind of surprised, but there's 1,600, and they're all kinds of different backgrounds that you can impose yourself in. So you could be walking around in the spaceship, or you could be walking in the desert or whatever. So, and that's where our actress is going to get her stuff together here. She's got, like I said, she's up there right now doing a eight cake wedding for Saturday. She's like, there's 4 different cakes, 46 cupcakes, and so it's her last one. And then she says, she's ready to go. And actually, I'm down here. I've stayed in the house and outside of the house. She is a professional at this. So I live in letting her do her thing. And she just said, it's literally the dam will break with all of this. It's just not a bunch of hearsay talk. We're going to, when we work together, get things done. She said, we're going to get the green screen up, and she's got some costumes where we want to get this thing going. And I got some fun things too. Like I know, and I don't know. What's his name? Steven Crowder. I like some things are goofy. He has little skits, and he's got a couple good ones that kind of land. So we're going to do actually some skits too. I got some good fun stuff going on that one. So yeah, like I said, we're going to work with the amendments, and we're going to work with the Constitution. Okay. Coming up at 250, and we're going to actually, how would you put it, Joe? We're going to do a little satire that, how art imitates life. Like I said, the one I'll have her, talking about free speech, and I'll have tape on her mouth and have liberal media
muzzled. Yeah,
because there's no free speech. It's it's like I said, it's such a hypocrisy. It's free speech for you guys, and for us, it's hate speech. What is the one? Those who hate the truth. It's a really good say. They come to my brain. Those who hate the truth, or whatever. I'll get it later. It's a good saying. And the guy goes, he's right. Oh, those who call the truth hate the truth. That's pretty much how you get from the people who don't want a dissenting opinion. Like there are people say,
I was trying to look it up for you, but I couldn't get.
I could disagree with it. No, you can't. I don't care. I mean, like I said, like the gentleman said, "Oh, Wayne's going to be ticked." No, I was actually interested in your last guest. I was catching the Olive Garden.
Yeah,
Olive Garden's Italian if you live in North Dakota.
It's not.
No, if it's in North Dakota or something.
I know.
Yeah, there was. I was
people here too. It's not
yeah.
Italian food. It's
No. Wayne's. In fact, I said one of the best Italian restaurants in the county was my kitchen, and so I got it. Like I said, we were somewheres up there in North Dakota, South Dakota. I was traveling, and let them have their fun. I'm not gonna stomp on someone's bread. I'm not gonna stomp on someone's breadsticks.
I'm Italian. I can't.
Yeah. No. I got it. No,
I can't.
Joe. I got 36 quarts from my garden stewed tomatoes, quartered out there in my pantry. It's 36 quarts of tomatoes, hand picked, hand cooked, hand processed, and hand canned in the kitchen in the homestead here. And I've got about 6 dozen of vacuum packed, on the vine, hand picked tomatoes for Sunday sauce. Yeah, nice. It's legit. It's legit in our house. So yeah, I mean, I'm growing my own rosemary.
When you came, you brought some of the tomatoes, and they were spot on, and they were super good.
I'm actually a really good gardener. I really am good with the green thumb, green screen, green thumb. But I have rosemary on the doorstep out there, and I grow my own oregano and the herbs and spices my own self. I have a little greenhouse, so I like doing it. And I'm going to tell you, one thing might throw you off. I have tons of roses out there. I have a rose garden out there. I had probably 150 roses this year. By next year, I'll have over 200 because I'm going to put 8 more plants in. So I'm trying to go for over 200 roses this summer.
Nice.
I just pass them out to the daughters, granddaughters, go to an event. I'll give them the roses to people we know. And it also attracts the bees. My wife is a beekeeper, so it actually helps with the bees. And I grow sunflowers, which you've seen them this morning. The bees are all over the sunflowers. So, yeah.
I didn't know she was doing that with the bees.
Yeah, she's a beekeeper. Yeah, she got 4 hives out there. And when she bakes her cakes, she uses honey instead of white cane sugar sometimes.
Nice. Which
is actually, good for that. I went to my cardiologist, told some jokes. He said, your cholesterol's up. I go, we're all doomed then, because you look at my freezer, I either caught it, killed it, or raised it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing out there that's preservative wise. And so I don't know how you know. I don't know how you not get cancer, because I got cancer and no smoke, no drink, no this, no that. So I think it's just, you get it. Things happen to certain people, and it's how you deal with it. Myself, I just kind of keep chugging on. One of my things is the race continues.
Yeah.
The race continues every day. And I'm looking at our government. I'm looking at our country. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changing. And I told my buddies, that's why I turned the news off this week. From Monday to right now, nothing's changed. See what Hamas, like I said, what will Hamas do? What biscuit are they going to get to actually calm down, let alone to have a peace treaty? Mm-hmm. So what are they selling these guys that they will say, I guess we do love our kids enough that we will maybe, not strap bombs on our chests and blow up school buses or whatever. It's something that's built into them. So that's about what I got for there. But
now, earlier today, you told me that you had a list of things that you wanted to talk about. So let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay. That was one of them, the taxes. And I'm finding, I'll say, on the church-wise, there's a growing kind of split in the churches where what they call these guys, some pastors are called prosperity pastors, prosperity teachers, and it's kind of easy to spot them out, because when if you go to like maybe 4 to 6 Sundays in a row, and they're not going to talk about sin or conviction or judgment or the cross, and like there's some big, especially if they're making 20 to 30 million a year, and so that's a lot of money. It's more, some baseball players are making it, obviously, but how do you make that much money and preach the gospel? And I'm not saying you can't sell books or record music. That's a different story. But I'm finding the churches are starting to they're flooding, man. They're packing these churches. And these guys have got a soft message. And the message is, you're good. You're doing okay. And you know what? I'm not going to come down on your heart, because life's already tough enough as it is. So why should I pound on you more? And you're good. I'm good. Goo 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 chew. I am the Eggman. And so a lot of those churches are filling up, and the ones that go Bible believing churches, chapter to chapter or book to book, preaching the gospel every Sunday, attendance is starting to go down. And so
it's been doing that for a while now too.
And that was one of the things I was really talking about and reading this week. One of the bigger things is there's a shift. There's a shift in everything. That's what I'm trying to say. And the reset, but I call it a shift because, in football you shift. But there seems to be a shift in Joe. And this is one of the things I'm saying. Society, we already see that. I mean, you got mayors in the country. They'll watch this. Once again, go back to Heath Ledger's Joker. He just wants to watch the world burn. That's what Alfred told Batman. He just wants to watch the world burn. These guys will watch their cities burn to stick their finger in your face. That's it. Yeah. If it's Trump right. or the Kristi Noem or whoever, if the governor's not the same part, I cannot believe this party puppet string thing. That if you follow this party, unless your name's Fetterman, I Fetterman sometimes, the guy, Democrat, he's not lockstep all the time. But if you're a governor and your Democratic mayor's letting your city burn or let me take over and surrounding the police officers and letting them get overtaken by the gangs or whatever, the shift is in. There's a shift. They don't give a squat about humanity. They just care about their own political party. But the thing is, about the thing I sent you, there truly is, and I'm going to go on a limb here, we're bought off from China, if it's Disney or whatever, entertainment, and this is more stuff I want to talk, entertainment bought off. Disney can't make anything. They're garbage, and they've been garbage for 20, 30 years. And the Saudis, they own parts of these news people. Fox is not even American owned. It's not just American owned. It's who's buying who. Literally, practically everybody in every part of society is a prostitute. Interesting. Really. I'm going to put it like it is. They're a prostitute. They're sold for whatever, a night, a year contract. But I mean, you couldn't look at the View and go, who's paying these women? They'll mock a Republican woman who was stabbed in the eye and the kid's throat was slit. Well, the guy who did it he had a bad upbringing. I mean, there's just something so diluted emotionally and not spiritually, spiritually too, but emotionally and rational. There's no rational out there and logical stuff, but people are just they're getting to be where it's like the puppet masters are running a thing, So I can see where a lot of people stay home now. We went to go watch a ball game just because I don't have the place was empty. The guy goes, no. Well, you got a big screen at home, right? You have a streaming service there.
Best seat in the house.
The beer's cheaper. The line in the bathroom's shorter. The food is cheaper, and nobody gets in your way. And so he goes, we're losing to the big screens. He says pretty soon the old bar and pubs were, like I said, us younger guys when I was in my 30s stuff, we'd meet there and watch the ball game. That's gone. So everything that we grew up on, I grew up on the front porch. Outside of Detroit, everybody on our street was on the front porch, or we'd call people over and we go in the back and get the fire ring going and listen to the ball game. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the Americana. It's boring to most people now, but that's gone too. So everybody's got they're closed. They get these gates that you can't see through, and it's part of the time. So but everything seems to be changing because as much traveling I've been doing, I did like 20 years out there on the mission field. 20-something years ago, people were really receptive of what we were doing. Now, I don't know, just it's the word jaded. I think I came up with is jaded. Let me ask you: is jaded? They don't have a negative or positive thought about it or feeling. It just doesn't matter.
No,
is that kind of what jaded is?
I think it leans more negative.
Is that what it is? Okay, this is jaded.
Yeah, I think it depends on context too.
And indifference, whatever indifference is, it's just. People, they just have no emotion over anything. They have no emotional responses. I think, and we think about the phones. I know this is why I said I'm going to do less phone time. I'm working on less phone time. And that's why what's been going on? Well, not a lot. I haven't been on the phone. I've been reading and going over some stuff and working, trying to get the house cleaned up and get ready. Really, we have to get ready for the winter up here in the mountains. And so I think of, I asked my wife, we will not take the phones in the restaurant. Can we leave them in the car? And she's cool with that. So, I mean, if it's really massively important, I mean, we're not there very long. So I guess we can just,
I don't know if you could see that.
We can make it through dinner without getting a text. There we go. Worn out. Do we seem like a worn out, weary society? Weary. A lot of people are weary, Joe, and worn out. It's not that I'm some naysayer or doom and gloom. I mean, spiritually, the Lord said, this world, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer for his name. This life isn't going to be that easy. He said there will always be struggles. And all the men that were courageous in the Bible, none of it ended well for them in the sense of ending well. Like, none of them got a statue or a university named after them. They got hung or executed one way or another. And so in the first church, they were mostly pretty much martyred. So we look at ourselves with, that's what I was going to say. Talking about, I was just reading where this is the kids at 8 that will graduate this year. None of them have not known the internet. You probably heard this. They had not known the internet. They've had the internet. They've had cell phones. Most of them are 18. All the devices, everything they could possibly have to entertain themselves more than any time in history. And there's more depression and anti-depression medications administered to this age group in history. So it's not about entertained or being entertained or being kept busy. It's just, and they're not even learning to have relationships. And a Stanford study showed that the sperm count of 14 to 16-year-olds is going down because they play games all the time. They're not getting the drive for the girls because the gaming is so intense and that's their life. They had this one kid, they had to take him to the hospital. He's on like 46 hours straight without getting off. And he's dehydrated and he had to have, some medical attention because 46, 48 hours. I mean, you do get dehydrated. You need water. So, especially at that age group. So, yeah, you're next. That's kind of, I had a salad bowl of a lot of different things I've been reading the past couple of days and just going over things I've had notes on and just some of the alternative news I was reading. And I'm still looking at my guy out there in space, AI Atlas. My buddy AI Atlas, have you heard about that one?
Oh, 3i Atlas.
3i Atlas. I'm intrigued on that one, man. I hope it comes real close. I hope it comes
pretty interesting. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so
I wanted to do a
we just missed us 300 miles or 400 miles here the other day. A meteor.
Yeah.
You know what I did see during the election season? It's how 2024 you got the candidates. It said 2024 meteor. I liked it. Okay.
Let me see.
As long as
I'm looking for something for us.
As long as it's in California, I'll be fine.
Let's see. When was this here? This was from. Oh, this was today. Today's the 8th. Yeah, this is today. Let's see. Let's put this up here.
I wore white today. I wore black.
I noticed. Well, it's a good contrast with the green screen.
Yeah.
All right. Interstellar comet 3i Atlas found spewing water far from the sun. Researchers say it may hold clues to how life travels across the universe.
Really?
Interesting, right? Very interesting.
Is your weight telling you the whole story?
Is the what?
Is your weight telling you the whole story?
You're right. Let's see. Scientists calculated hydroxyl emissions within a 10 arc second radius. Like I understand any of this. Confirming a dramatic increase in water production, which means the comet's coma ejects around 40 kilograms of water every second. They also found at least 8% of the comet's surface, 7.8 square kilometers. Now, this isn't exactly what I was looking for because there's a lot of speculation as to exactly what this thing is.
Right.
Some folks are talking about this is first contact. What do you think?
It's a possibility. I don't believe there's any. Who do I know? I just don't believe there's any other life form on any other planet in the. I'm just going to go with I'm old school because well, it's really far out there, Wayne. I go well. I go with God. He spoke the universe into existence. He would have gave us a clue if there's somebody else. If he would have said, yeah, and I made someone else in our image somewhere else. Now there's some rascals out there, and like I said, I had a late father-in-law who was a rocket scientist, and he was a usher in his church, which is a very vast contrast combination there. So he was teaching the guys how to land on the moon, and he was showing people their seats in church. And he had a really good concept of there's things out there. And he tried to explain it to his daughter, which was my late wife, on parallel universes and dimensions, which we don't think about, and principalities. And that's something it's sometimes hard to grasp your brain around. And the way he explained it, he just said, there's things that we cannot see that are there. And because the time-space continuance, which I did not know, and my late wife knew the quantum string, which don't even ask me what that is, but she tried to explain it was when we're out of time was created in the beginning. God created the heavens and earth, and then as you go through Genesis, and then the clock started. There's a time start, and so outside of time, it's people say they've been up to heaven and back. I don't believe them. Sorry, I'm not going to go with that one because Paul couldn't even explain what it looked like. But there's that out of the time realm, and that whole, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have the science back up, but there's something out there that can project itself in a different time faster than what you would see on Star Trek. And so it doesn't have to go very far because it's in a whole total dimension, what they call those black holes and portals and stuff like that. But there are entities. That's the word I'm looking for. That's out there.
Interdimensional beings.
Yeah, and they could probably ride in something or fly in something and make something and construct something. And
I believe that.
Yeah, they can do something.
I think that there are. I think that what people see as talking about alien life or anything like that, or they see the grays and whatnot. Yeah, right. I think those things are. It's not necessarily alien life. I mean, alien to us, yeah. Right. It's something different from us, of course. But I think it's more of. I think they're interdimensional beings, and I think they a lot of it comes through the spiritual world as well. Yeah. I think a lot of those things are demonic beings, and they have an agenda that they're looking to bring forward here. And you got to be very careful with this stuff. You're playing with things that you don't really understand. You got to be very careful with it. It's like what Shakespeare said. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Right. Okay. It's very interesting that this is taking place at this particular time in history. I don't know. I'm very curious. I truly am, and I'm hoping. I don't know what I'm hoping for, to be honest with this thing. I want to see it just pass at least, and whatever, just move on into obscurity. But remember all the hoopla over what was that? What was the name of that one that came by really quick a few years ago? Oumuamua, they called it. Yeah, right, yeah. It's just similar hype, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know. From some of the things I've seen, and I wish I would have known we were going to talk about this because I had a whole bunch of stuff. On my phone about this that I could have got onto the screen here. We could show things and talk about it, but there's who knows, man. I don't know. I'm at a loss right now, to be honest with you. I don't even know what to think about this thing. I would love it to be something like crazy out of this world that would answer a lot of questions a lot of people have, but at the same time, I think. People have been so conditioned at this point to expect some kind of alien life that it wouldn't surprise anybody if it was. And I think that was done intentionally. And then again, it could also be, the next big setup. Werner von Braun, the father of the Saturn V rocket and pretty much the space program, basically he warned us. He said that, the next thing is going to be false flag alien invasion.
Right.
So, and I don't know. We'll see. We shall see.
I grasp everything for fun. I mean, when the X-Files came out, it was like I had 2 channels I could get, and I had to go out and like rotate my antenna. So like tonight I could rotate it this way, get these shows. I run outside and rotate it the other way. Just me and technology. I just manage with it. Okay, I don't need to go high end in it. So, but I seen the original first X-Files show because I just okay, I can check the show out, and so I took it for fun. I take it all for fun. It's like no matter what it would. I'm still a Godzilla fan. I grew up as a kid watching Godzilla, man. Joe, I play these things through my mind, which is my oldest friends go, yeah, that thing is like, it's humming. It's like one of those things that, I go, if I had an interview for like, if I won $1 gazillion, I just use a gazillion, okay? And what would the interview be? Like I said, well, first and foremost, I'm going to get new tires for my 96 Ford Ranger. Let's say 50 million or $500 million. I do that and I go, I want to build a movie set and have my own Godzilla suit and destroy this thing.
You could do that with your green screen.
Yeah. So I'm going, but I want to do it for real. And some of my old buddies go, you know what? Me too. I thought that was kind of cool too. So some of the things I think are so far-fetched. I got buddies I grew up with. I'm not too far from that either. Putting on a Godzilla suit and tearing the place up. He goes, yeah. If you had a 50 million or $500 million, that's the type of stuff you would do.
Did you? Speaking of Godzilla, did you see the newest one, the Godzilla -1?
I haven't. It's on Netflix. I have this winter thing. I watch a lot of stuff in the winter. I'll do Saturday nights, Friday, Saturdays for nights. So we get to pick each things. Yes, I want to see Godzilla -1, and so yeah, it's got an Academy Award, I guess. So I like the old Ghidorah. Is it Ghidorah or is it Ghidorah? And I think
it's Ghidorah.
I've been watching the past 2 weeks. I got onto a YouTube Godzilla. I subscribed to it. The dude's very serious. And Yoshiro Honda, and then the production guy, Hiroshima Hamakama, and then his screenwriter was Toki Hamatoi. And he's going through all these names like you, and he's like an American. He's got everybody nailed. And then he handed it over to the sequel was done by, and he's doing the director's names. And this was, the lead actor was, Yahoo Magatore. He was in Godzilla's Revenge, but he also, I love this dude. I love this because, Joe, I mean, I got guys that are, maybe we all do, guys that make $1 gazillion, and gazillion means it's more than me, that's for me. And they love the same stuff we do. The guys I grew up with, they'll say the same stuff too. I just don't let my wife know. My wife knows all that stuff. She goes, I married a 12-year-old, so I'm going to let them have fun. But so
I'm looking through all of these different.
I hope I didn't take the show down a bad rabbit hole.
No, this is fine. That's good. This is.
You asked me what I've been thinking. That was a bad mistake.
I'm looking at some of these images on of this Godzilla stuff and just how it's changed over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. I don't know, dude. I saw the Godzilla -1,
mm-hmm.
and I saw it in both versions of it. I saw the color version and the black and white.
Right.
I loved the black and white version.
Same movie. Black and white. I like black and white everything.
But you know what? It added such a different dimension to it. It was actually scarier than watching the color version.
Right.
And not that Godzilla's movies are scary, but they're tense. Especially this one. This one is very
great
dark.
Music too. I love the music.
This one is if you haven't seen it yet, this one is very dark. It's very brooding.
Right.
It's very, very serious. And it's incredibly well done. The special effects are fantastic in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you haven't seen it yet, you need to see it.
No, it's on my winter list. So, literally from March to end of October is the planting season, the farming season, the outdoor season. So once November gets going, and I hopefully get a couple of deer or elk or something in the freezer, and it's winter time, man, I start getting the categories of what I'm watching. Sci-fi, my kaiju movies, and reruns from old classics and stuff. Like I said, I got the 2 seasons of Miami Vice. I still want to go through season 1 and 2. Tubbs and Crockett.
Original?
Yeah, the original one. I got them really cheap. I mean, Amazon cheap back then. And I've got Quantum Leap. I want to finish that series. That was a good series. I like that. And so it's just like I said, I have DVD and one. I think I have Netflix. That's about it. Netflix and maybe one more. And so TV time. But it's like I said, I'm going to say it, man. I got the greatest life in the world. It's jammer time with the honey, getting on the couch, fires crackling away. Are you kidding me? We'll put some cinnamon on it or potpourri, and we'll start going. You first. I get to watch mine, and we'll have a blast. And so, and it doesn't snow up here. When it does, it's fun. And so, but when it rains, it's not a big deal here. It sounds great on the roof, and so. And we'll make something fun, and we'll bake stuff, and it's not all the time. We just pick those days out during the month, but it's just get away. I'm really good at getting away from this world because I'm practically away from the world anyhow. And so
one of the things that I want to do, and I need to try to start doing, is I need to do the same thing. I need to, and I tried to do this. It's just hard with my regular job because I'm on calls, most of the time. So it's I want to disconnect, man. I just want to put my phone on do not disturb, from Friday until Sunday, and just disappear and just not, just do my thing and do what I got to do around my home and, and development and all that stuff, and just not deal with any of the outside world. Just deal with my own stuff and spend time, quiet time. One of the things that I've kind of drifted away from. And I'm coming back to it now. It's been I'm trying to think of the right word to say. It's been a sweet time of fellowship. Is when I first became a Christian and I first got saved, I used to spend so much time in quiet time with the Lord, in prayer and just quiet meditation. And just so people understand, when I say in prayer and quiet meditation, I'm not talking about laying on the floor prostrate, with face down on the floor. I'm not talking about that. You can sit and talk to the Lord just like this right now. Like Wayne could be talking to the Lord right now in his thoughts. I used to do it a lot more frequently, and I kind of fell away from that because I let myself get distracted with a lot of things over the years. And recently, I've committed myself to making more time in that quiet, meditative, contemplative frame of mind, and just talking to the Lord. And it's been great. I it's something I needed to do. I think I really needed to get back to that more. I don't want to. I hate using the term religiously, but you know what I'm saying when I say that. It's incredibly important, and it's just something that you feel the Holy Spirit pulling you towards it. And if you're sensitive to it, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit kind of tugs on your heart and says, "Hey, you know what? You need to be over here for a minute." And and if you don't, you can easily say no. I want to watch this. Put something on the TV. I call it the television. You could very easily ignore it, but lately I've been in that mindset where I've been feeling the Holy Spirit tugging on the heart, and I've been responding to it. And and again, I'm not talking about like these long formal prayers or anything like that. A lot of times I'm at my job and I'm plunging a toilet or something like that, and the Holy Spirit says, "Hey, let's talk for a second," and while you're over there doing what you're doing, you're having a conversation in your thoughts and in your mind, because God knows your thoughts. He knows everything about you before you know it, and so you don't have to be on your knees. You don't have to be in, some prostrate position. You don't have to do anything
Mhm.
like that. Be sitting down. You can just be walking down the street talking to the Lord. It's a
Right.
The Bible tells us to. The Bible tells us to pray without ceasing.
Right.
Right. So what does that mean? Does that mean that you're always going to be in a formal prayer? You know, you're going to be going about your life. You're going to be in prayer, thinking, talking to the Lord in your thought, in your mind, in your heart, in your thoughts. And it's something I got away from, and I needed to get back to it, and I did. And it's been an exceptionally sweet fellowship, if you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah. So, like I say, Wayne's World. I got the hat. Someone bought it for me, but I like I say, I'm truly what I mean when I say the things I like to do and I love to do, I can afford. This was $100 and something. We went on a fishing trip. Right?
Mhm.
Take a look at the picture, and people wonder, why are you so laid back?
That's beautiful. Look at that.
I know it doesn't show it on the screen so
It's
much.
hard to see it, but yeah.
This is my favorite one right there. There's the pole.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it was $100 for the hotel, $150 for both of us to go catch a cooler full of salmon.
And that's not a bad price for that.
Well, the salmon, how do we do the per pound stuff? $12. We caught 6 fish times 60 times 12. Yeah, it definitely paid for the trip.
Absolutely.
I think we caught over $1,000 worth of fish this summer between halibut and salmon, over $1,500. And I think we probably spent a couple $100. But the thing was the trips out there at the ocean and the rivers. So, and we're close to this. This is my backyard. So, like I said, the things I love to do, I can afford: fish, hunt, camp, and hike. I really don't want to do anything more than that. I had a nice bonfire in the back there. I just, like I said, this is a guy just like you. You're from Brooklyn. I was born in the east side of Detroit downtown, but grew up right for Livonia, where I grew. 7 Mile and Inkster is 5 miles from the Detroit city limits. So we're the suburbs, but it's still Detroit. The smell of Detroit was right there. And people go, why did you move up to the mountains? Everybody still lives there. All my friends, everybody I grew up with are within 10 to 20 miles of their high school.
Mm-hmm.
Just the nature boy. Ric Flair is the real nature boy. It's me. And so I'm just different. My mom says that.
Because I love being out in nature. I love being out, you know, and just watching a sunset, just watching a sunrise. You know, the most beautiful thing in the world. You know, God is an incredible artist.
Right.
And he paints with such a beautiful brush.
Mm-hmm.
You never see colors anywhere. You cannot duplicate the colors that you see at the sunrise and whatnot. You can try, but it's not, you're not going to get anywhere near it. And God did all that for us.
Right.
For us.
So I find myself, like I say, I'm stepping aside from the phone. So like I say, this week wasn't a very big news week in my brain. I guess I could tell you what I've been doing in my world. It's this farm and what's going on and what I have to get done. It's boring stuff. I mean, it really is to most people, but I could go into Fox News in 15, 20 minutes or some of my news sites, and I could just Mockingbird everything that's what's going on right now. This GOP here, this city here is burning down. This governor said this mayor said this, blah, 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 blah. All it's just same old. It really is the same old stuff. And so it's nothing new. But what's new with me? I had a bonfire.
Nice.
No, it was great though. As
a matter of fact, I think I'm going to set up I got my fire pit outside.
The fire pit. Is a fire pit something, Joe?
I love it.
I was just sitting there with the rake or, just watching it, and I have the chickens over there and they're doing their little world, and, and it was getting to be dusk up in the mountains. Yeah. And now I got two owls coming. I got 2 owls back there. So they're hooing back and forth. Unbelievable. I mean, 2 a.m, it doesn't wake. Just incredible how they connect with each other. And so, it's my world, and I guess it's not for everybody. And people wonder why I live way back in the woods back there. And I go, I live the other side. I live where the guy sets his lawnmower up at 7 a.m. on a Sunday.
Nice.
Right outside your bedroom window.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's not my bag, baby. So that's kind of what I had. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on in our state that politically wise people are waking up. They're waking up and going, do they have the power? Do they have I don't think we could ever have a fair vote here. You know, we had a guy, Dino Rossi, about 15 years ago. He won the election, but he didn't. They had a second count, and he won it. And the third one he lost. They found voters pamphlets. They found like 10,000 pamphlets of voter pamphlets. And Christine Gregoire, we called her. She won. She 3 times.
Yeah, I remember.
A Republican will never win here. We'll never win here unless they get rid of mail-in voting. We're gonna be ball and chain to the blue state for now. But
we're gonna have to table this conversation for next week because it is time for us to say goodnight.
Okay. I hope I didn't bore anybody. I'm really relaxed today because I've just got away from the electronics and
exactly. You got to do your thing, brother.
Yeah.
All right, Wayne. Thank you.
It's been an honor and a privilege, Joe.
Oh no, for me, dude. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to be with us tonight. And hey, God bless you, brother. Why don't you close us out with a prayer before we go?
All right, dear Heavenly Father, you know all things, and you know what this nation needs. You know what President Trump. You know, I would love the people to understand if he fails, we fail. Why would we want him to fail? Because it's this would trickle down, and we just pray that he can connect in the Middle East and truly the people who are suffering. If we look at that first, let's not look at the hatred. Let's look at the suffering. And the Lord said, yeah, there will be suffering out there, but suffer the little children. Let's pray for this truly is at least a ceasefire agreement or go to separate corners for now, Lord. Just that's your home area, Father. You know that area very well and the history of it. Lord, we just pray for our country and all the turmoil in the cities and the backstabbing and hatred. Lord, just put your providence on this nation for now. And Lord, just protect our fire and police, our responders, and the people out there are serving, and the National Guardsmen, our military, and all those people who really do put themselves out, Lord. We just pray for our families who do not know you. And we pray for the people we come across in business or in the shows here that do not know you, Lord. It's one day you will show everyone who you are. And we just pray for Joe and the doggies and their health, and just pray for we go to sleep tonight and go, Lord, thank you for one more day. And just, as Paul said, run the race, you know, and fight the good fight. And that's all we ask for, is just to look on us, and most importantly, all to do your will and not ours. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen, brother. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. God bless you. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
At churches, I've been called the long prayer, so sometimes they'll pass on me. They give me under 2 minutes.
I'll just shut you off next time. That's all right.
Okay.
All right, brother.
blessings to you, Joe. Have a good week.
Have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
And for everybody in Seattle, go Tigers.
Yeah.
If they win, I'm wearing everything to church on Sunday. I love it. But I love it. People, I'm waiting for the pastor to kick me out, you know. And real fast, the Seattle people, the Seattle sports guys are really nervous. They are nervous for Tariq Skubal. This guy he's like the Andy Pett of his time. Nice. This he's incredible. So, you know, it's going to be a good game 5 Friday. So have a wonderful weekend.
All right, my brother.
Weekend. All right, take care.
Yes, sir. We'll talk to you later on. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, folks. Wayne Rankin joining us from the People's Republic of Washington State. Thanks again, brother. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, folks, don't forget, check us out on our socials. We're going to say goodnight at this point, so just check us out on our socials. Always good to connect there. Shout outs to our executive producers, Wayne Rankin, Rosanna Rankin, Carolina Jimenez, Marisa Lee, and Anonymous Angela. Thank you so much, guys, for all that you do, for donating your time, your talent, your treasure, helping us put together a show, and having a great time doing it. So thank you guys so much for it. Also want to say thank you to the 2 anonymous donations that went to the GoFundMe. Again, we have a GoFundMe set up just to, got a bit of an issue here with the mortgage payment. Going to be a big increase for us, and it might really set back a lot of what we're doing. So we have a QR code up there on the screen. If if you have the ability to do so, you could scan that thing. You can make a donation, any amount. Every little bit helps right now, so we appreciate that. And any donations that do come in, as far as for the show directly, they're all going to the GoFundMe to take care of this bill that is looming on the horizon here. All right. Also, folks, don't forget you can help us out with crypto donations as well. All the information's up on our website, and just head on over there if you can do it. That would be great. And we would really, really appreciate it. All right, folks, I think that's going to do it for us for tonight. So, with that said, head over to the website, joeroos.com, Open up the contact form, send us over a message, let us know what you think. Comment down below, and we will see you guys tomorrow night. All right? Make Texas independent again. Go podcasting. Keep a steady stride.
Happy trails to
Keep talking. See you later.
Until we meet again, happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather.
Happy trails to you. Till we meet again. Some trails are happy ones,